Hey Geo people, this is Mr. Pruis. I'm going to show you how to use the online map that we're going to use for today's lesson. So in your document, your Unit 4 Day 6 lesson, you have the learning targets, the things we're going to learn from doing this lesson or review things you've already learned. And you need to click the link here to go to the map. When you click that link, it's going to take you right here. And you'll notice it's already popped up with a legend over here, but I'm going to collapse that. And the way you do that is just to click on this word content. The reason for this is so you can understand or take stock of what you have here. You have a hint that's built into the lesson. You have 20 largest earthquakes in the world that have ever happened since 1906. And you have global earthquakes, and you have plate tectonic boundaries. So if we turn on just the plate boundaries and the global earthquakes for the year 2017-18, you're going to have what you need to do the first part of the lab. You'll be asked to turn on other layers as you work your way through it. But that's how you turn them on and off, is uncheck the boxes next to the layer name. And to see the legend here, you have another way to do that. You don't have to be in the legend view. The legend view takes away all your control. You're going to stay under content so that you have access to the toolbars that are underneath these layers. And one of the ones you'll use is the legend. And that legend comes back. So now we have a legend that shows the depth of these earthquakes, these global earthquakes. The symbols are telling us two things. The depth is the color variation. Darker the red, the deeper it is. The lighter, the shallower. And magnitude, the bigger the circle, the larger the magnitude. This circle happens to be greater than 8.2 magnitude, and the smallest circle is less than 2.5. Okay, and then we can collapse that legend just by clicking that button again. Another thing you're going to need to see is opening up the attribute table. When you open up the table, this is all the data about the earthquakes. And one thing you might want to do is quickly find out which one's the biggest. You could click all over this map and click on these thousands of points until you find the biggest one, or you could just click on the heading here where it says magnitude and sort it descending, and boom, there it is. And if you wanted to see where that is on the map, just highlight that row, shrink the map, and you'll see that it's right here in Central America. It's buried under all these other earthquakes. Somewhere in there is a big earthquake underneath all the small ones. Okay, then you can slide this table back up and click on the button or the X over here, and that will close that table. And we're way zoomed in here, and if we want to go back out to the original view, come over here to where you see the house and the plus sign and the minus sign, click on the house, and it will bring you back to the original view. Let's try following a bookmark. If you wanted to go to, let's say, Iceland, click on the North Atlantic Iceland, it'll fly you to Iceland. Or you need to move maybe to South America. So in the lab, it will ask you to click on bookmarks to take you to different stations to complete parts of the assignment. And if we were to go into, say, Tokyo, you can see there's this sort of terrain map, but you don't see the city. If you wanted to see the city, you could change your base map over here to imagery, hybrid imagery. And what it'll give you is labels and actual terrain. And you might not see as much as you want there because we're like in space shuttle elevation here. But we could go in closer by hitting the plus sign or rolling your mouse button if you have a mouse. But if you click the plus, it'll drill you in, and you can grab the map, just click and drag the map back and forth to zoom in and out. You can go in very far. You can get all the way down to the street view. Okay, all the buildings, etc. Okay, now we're way zoomed in again, so I'm going to click on the house. It'll bring me back out, and you can see this makes the map look very different. If we were to switch this back to the ocean map, you notice you cannot see the dots very well over the United States. The earthquakes are pale. if you change your base map to the dark gray canvas, you can now see all of the dots much more clearly. All right. Then you're also going to need to filter data. So one of an easy example is, let's try to find all of the earthquakes on the Earth here that are greater than 6.0. So I'm using the layer called Global Earthquakes, and I'm going to change it to mag, that means magnitude, and I'm going to say is greater than 6. And then I'm going to apply the filter. And what's left are only the earthquakes that have a magnitude greater than 6. Okay? And now let's say you wanted to move on to the next question. Problem is, you only have earthquakes greater than 6 available to you right now. So what you need to do is remove the filter. So you would go back to the filter. It looks like a funnel. Go back to the filter. It looks like a funnel on a piece of paper. Click on that and just click Remove Filter. And when you remove the filter, the points come back. All right, and that should be all that you need to know to complete the lesson. If you need to review, come back and watch parts of the video again.